Okay, our next definition is fixed stop, and the glossary definition literally refers us to the entry in the glossary for stop. So let's take a look and see what stop is. Before we do that, let's just do this. This is the stop. The stop is, whether it be a double rabbet frame like this or a single rabbet frame, differentiating single or double rabbet frames from cased opening frames. Cased opening frames don't have stops. In fact, cased opening frames would be a use application to define removable stop. Fixed stop, that means that it is part of the frame and cannot be removed. It's a part and parcel of the design of the frame. The stop is what defines whether it be double rabbet, or if this was a single rabbet. I don't have a single rabbet here. The stop itself, the fixed stop, has specific dimensional properties, and it has two different terms used to define the overall stop. This is the soffit. If this is a jamb, which this is, you would attach gasketing to the soffit. If this was a header, you would attach a parallel arm bracket to the soffit. This is the face of the stop, or the stop face. All of this is the stop. This is the soffit, this is the face. This is a unequal rabbet frame. You may be able to see that that's wider than that. And that is handy in the sense that an unequal rabbet frame can handle 1 3/4 or 1 3/8 doors. And manufacturers will make unequal rabbet frames because they don't need to reset their press brake when bending the sheet steel to make frames that can go either way. They then can they'll probably punch the material in the flat, I imagine, or they'll do it, in like a shop setting. If you have a hydraulic press, you would punch hinges into the blank frame material. But that's why. And what separates these two rabbets is the stop. This is a fixed stop. It can't be removed, can't be taken out. Now, you could very easily have a stop that's removable, and a removable stop would literally be a case when you have, let's say you have a cased opening frame and you're using you're using center hung pivots. Well, those doors are going to be single acting in the sense that they'll only open in like left hand and right hand reverse egress, left hand reverse and right hand reverse openings. But they're center hung pivots, and they're doing that to conceal the hardware. You still need a stop on there, and that's going to end up being an applied stop. You're going to apply that to the opening after the fact, or the frame will be made with that type of stop. Or you might be using a piece of hardware as an applied stop. All of that is used to differentiate between stops that are performing the function of stopping the door, but they are not something that is inherent in the original design of the frame. They're applied after the fact. I'm going to go with that. Now, let's take a look at let's just switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at the SDI definition of this. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, so here we are at fixed stop, C stop. Let's get down into the catalog and take a look at what we're dealing with here. Okay, stop. An element of a frame profile. Got it. Also, see also doorstop and glazing bead. See frame element for detail. Integral. A stop which is formed as part of the frame profile. So sure, the stop that I have shown you on the piece of sample hollow metal is certainly an integral stop. It's part and parcel of the frame. It cannot easily be removed whatsoever. But now, removable stop is going to be metal channel or angle which is removable to allow installation of glass, panel, or door. Yeah, absolutely. So a removable stop a great explanation of that. Not to get too deep into the woods in the Seco technical manual, but it's worth the trip. Let's take a look. Seco technical manual, here we go. 2023. I don't love their technical manual, and most certainly because I'm not very familiar with it, but here's a great first match for stop, removable stop. This is a cross-section of a hollow metal door that's clearly been prepped for, most likely, a piece of glass, is what this is. So they'll literally form the door like this. You'll have glazing tape, your glass, glazing tape, and then the removable stop comes in. Whether that be a light in a door or that be a borrowed light, it's the same concept. Let's see if we can... Oh, there's a good one. Yeah. That's showing that removable stop. That's a nice, clean look. That's got to be factory made in the sense that you need a shear or a punch to make these preps. If you jigsaw cut that, it's just never going to be right. Now, if you've got a door light machine that features a router, yeah, you get pretty clean cuts. Depending on the tool, Caval makes one, and if you're up to 18 gauge, you can do light cutouts. So that would give you this clean edge here, which you would have to have. So yeah, let's also take a look. Borrowed lights. Yes? Yeah, great. Oh, okay. Here's a good example of this as well. Okay. There's some removable stop that's there. Yeah, we should talk also about the dimensions of the stop. Stops are 5/8 unless there is something that requires that they be taller, like a specific, perhaps, reference to UL listings for a borrowed light that may require it to be 3/4. Yeah, okay. Removable stop again. Now, this is what we're talking about in terms of it being 5/8. Unless otherwise noted, it's going to be 5/8. Or, unless something is requiring it be other than 5/8, it's going to be 5/8. Now, the integral stop, or the dimension of the stop, how wide the soffit is going to be jam depth minus rabbet 1 minus rabbet 2 if there is a second rabbet. So 5 3/4 minus 1.9375 minus 1.4375. A typical stop width on an unequal frame is going to be 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And that's how you calculate that. It was just simply jam depth minus the first rabbet minus the second rabbet. And these dimensions are indeed what you'd have for... oh, you know what? No, I didn't do that right. That's not 1 5/16. That's 1 9/16. So it's 2 1/4. Yeah, okay. Forgive me, 2 1/4. Yeah, really important. 2 1/4 on an unequal rabbeted 5 3/4 jam depth frame. Let's see what else is in the SDI manual that may apply. Stop, an element of a frame profile. See also door stop. Well, let's go to door stop and let's take a look at door stop. Part of a frame profile against which the door closes. Okay, so integral stop, that's the stop face, that's the face that the door closes against. Obviously in a cased opening frame you won't have any stops unless you apply them or add a stop. I wouldn't call that a removable stop. A removable stop would be that glazing channel. You're going to have the ability in those borrowed light applications to remove those stops, making them truly removable. Okay, what's the next definition? That's going to be, we are in fixed stop. Floor. Okay, oh boy, there's a lot to unpack with floor. Let's move to floor. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.